Ooh, we are live. Let me just make sure I am sharing this in the group as well. 1 second. Can't believe another month has come and gone. It is nuts. Okay. Share. Okay. City Girl Savings. Post. All right. Yay. All right. Let's get started. All right. Well, another month is here. July is going to start tomorrow, and since this is the end of the month, that means month-end money pulse check time. But this is a special month because it is also the end of Q2 of 2018, which is nuts. So I'm going to walk you through how to pulse check your money at the end of each month, like I typically do. But I'm also going to share my goal setting strategy and then some of the Q2 milestones I've had. So hopefully it inspires you to knock out the next 2 quarters of 2018 and move into July on the right track. So let's get started. Okay, so to complete your month-end money pulse check, you need 3 things. And the first one is your budget. So you want to start by reviewing the budget that you set at the beginning of the month. So whatever you had set out for June, you want to review that. And really, you're going to ask yourself the following questions. What happened that was supposed to? So if anything one-off or planned for the month of June came up and you budgeted for it, did it go smoothly? Did everything happen like it was supposed to? Was your money allocated accordingly? But then you're also going to ask yourself, what unexpected expenses came up? So things that you weren't really planning for at the beginning of June, but they somehow made their way into your life and ultimately into your budget. You want to think about those expenses and how you handle them. And then think about what needs to be changed for July. So for those unexpected expenses that came up, are they going to be reoccurring? Do you need to factor them into your budget for next month? So once you've looked at the budget that you've set for June, you've asked yourself, was everything going the way it was supposed to? And if not, why? And do I need to plan for July? Then you'll want to move on to the second element, which is your spending. So I'm not going to harp on this. I say it each month when we go through the month-end money pulse check, and I say it all across City Girl Savings, but you absolutely need to be tracking your spending. If you're not, you don't really know if you're following your budget, and therefore you don't know if you're being effective or not. So should be tracking your spending, and assuming you are, you want to ask yourself the following questions to complete your month-end money pulse check. Question number 1. What areas did I over or underspend in, and why? So did you spend a little bit more than you were supposed to, maybe going out to eat? Or maybe you went shopping because it's summer and you needed swimsuits. Think about where you did go over budget and then ask yourself why, and will you need to adjust your budget accordingly for July? But also look at areas you underspent in. So maybe you didn't use your full discretionary spending budget, which is a good thing. Ask yourself why, and maybe you can reduce the amount you give yourself for discretionary spending next month so you can save more or pay off debt or do whatever it is that you need to do with your finances. So the next question you want to ask yourself as you're looking through your spending is, what areas may be higher for July? So we have 4th of July coming up. Are there barbecues you need to attend? Do you have pool parties? Are you going to the beach? Are you taking vacation? What areas in your budget could be higher from a spending perspective for next month? And then once you've answered that question, you want to make sure you create your July budget accordingly. And then lastly, ask yourself what you can do differently to stay in budget. So if you did overspend in areas that maybe you shouldn't have, what can you do differently in July to make sure that you're actually following the budget you set for yourself? So good questions to ask. And then lastly, the third and final element to complete your month-end money pulse check is your goals. So you want to review the goals that you set in June or that you were working towards in June. So maybe you have, annual goals, a specific savings amount to save for the entire year. So then you would break that down into monthly increments. Did you hit that goal? So you want to think about the goals you either set or were working on, and then ask yourself the following questions. Did I make the appropriate progress this month? So if you were supposed to save a set amount, did you do so? If not, why? Then ask, am I on track to reach my goals? So let's say you didn't save what you were supposed to this month. That can derail your progress for the rest of the year, or it could mean that you need to save a little more next month to make sure that you recoup the loss. And then lastly, what needs to change to help me reach my goals? So if you haven't been on track with your goals for the past few months, something's gotta give. Maybe you extend the time frame for which you reach your goals, or maybe you cut back spending a little bit more so that you can make up the difference. But really think through what you can do to help you get where you want to go when you want to get there. All right, so let's talk about my June month-end money pulse check results. So let's start with the wins. We want to start with the positives here. So one win is that I spent $350 less than what I made this month, which is always good. You want to make sure that your expenses don't exceed your income on a monthly basis. I saved $80 more than I planned to, thanks to Digit and Keep the Change, which is a Wells Fargo savings mechanism. And then I had minimal fun spending this month. So I was slightly over budget in the fun spending, but really not that bad. So I consider it a win. Opportunities. So we had the informal no spend challenge happening this month in the City Girl Savings Facebook group. I did spend, unfortunately. My toilet in my bathroom had a leak, so I had to spend $390 to fix it. So I count this as an opportunity. While I had the money in like my short-term emergency savings, now I need to recoup it. So that's a major opportunity for me. I definitely overspent in dining out. Not even gonna lie there. It was not as bad as previous months, but not as good as last month when I was actually under budget for the first time ever in dining out. I was also slightly over in transportation, but I really attribute that to the increasing gas prices. And then an opportunity is the Summer Savings Challenge, which starts tomorrow. Woohoo! I know most of the group members are in that challenge, but if you're not, it's not too late to sign up. The whole premise behind it is that we will be saving a total of $250 over the next month. So it's a weekly savings challenge. Definitely sign up. It's a major opportunity for me. I need to save the $250 and hopefully more. So I'm really excited about that. And then lastly, my goals. So I saved as planned for my new house and my new car. So everything is business as usual there. Nothing more, nothing less than what I should have saved, which, is good. And then, oh, this is exciting. I purchased a planner to help me get a little more specific with my life. I have a lot going on, and I'm, doing my best to also manage my finances. So I really made the investment in a planner to help me focus day to day on the goals. I leverage Asana, which has been great, but I also feel that writing things down is extremely impactful. So I'm really excited to see how that goes. So normally we would wrap up now, but since this is the end of Q2, I want to talk about my goal setting strategy, which I do at the beginning of the year. And I just started this strategy for 2018, and it's been working really well. So I wanted to share it with you guys in case you were looking for some goal setting inspiration. But ultimately, what I'm doing is focusing on 1 to 3 main goals. Experts recommend you shouldn't focus on too many primary goals because then your focus is divided between all these things, and it makes it harder to achieve all of them, as opposed to focusing in on, just a few that can actually be achieved. So I have my 1 to 3 main goals set for 2018. Actually, it's 3, not 1 to 3, 3. And then you break those 1 to 3 main goals down into 90-day milestones. So if you think about the calendar year, obviously there are 4 quarters in the year. That means 4 90-day chunks, so to speak. So break down that primary goal that you want to hit for the year into those quarterly chunks, milestones, so to speak, that will help you get there. So assuming your goal is to save $12,000 for the year, technically divide that by 4, that's $3,000 a quarter. So now each quarter you should be saving $3,000. So that's just an example of how to break it down. So one major milestone per quarter to help you achieve that main goal. Like I said, if your goal is to save $12,000 for the year, that's $3,000 a quarter. And you can actually measure that, right? Q1, if you save $3,000, you're right on track. Q2, now you're at $6,000, you're halfway there, the year's halfway over. So that's essentially how you want to break it down. And then take it a step further and break those 90-day milestones into daily and weekly tasks. So if your 90-day goal is to save $3,000, well, that would essentially be $1,000 a month. So break that down even further. That could be $500 a paycheck if you're paid twice a month. So breaking it down into those small, manageable tasks is much easier than focusing on this humongous number. I'd rather focus on saving $500 as quickly as I can, as opposed to, oh my gosh, I got to reach $12,000. So that's the strategy that I implemented at the beginning of the year. It's been working pretty well for me. I'm definitely going to leverage it moving into 2019. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. And then, take it a step further and track those daily and weekly tasks to ensure you're actually getting them done. Hence, I invested in a planner. I had been leveraging Asana, so I had been tracking, but like I said, I want to really write it down and get intentional with it. So before we wrap, I want to share some of my Q2 milestones. So milestone number 1 for Q2, my goal was to create a new course, and I did. I'm so excited. It launches at the end of July. It's called Budgeting to Billions, and really I'm sharing how to create an impactful budget for your situation. And I even take it a step further and do like a live walkthrough of the budget template tracker that I recommend you use. So it's really cool, really exciting. Can't wait for it to launch. Milestone number 2, my goal was to save $300 extra, so on top of my normal savings routines, just for my trip to Turks and Caicos in September. I saved $475 over the course of the quarter. So I'm really excited about that. That's a big win. And then my final Q2 milestone is a personal one. But my goal was to lead a healthier lifestyle. So I tried not to get too crazy specific with myself because I know this is going to be a bigger change. But I average 2 miles a day, at least 5 days a week walking. So I walk every morning and I try to pick up the pace, jog a little here and there. But ultimately, for the past quarter, I've been averaging 2 miles a day. So I'm really excited about that. And that is it. We are wrapped up. I hope this inspires you to complete your June month-end money pulse check. I also hope it inspires you to set some goals, get specific, and get a planner like me. Also, don't forget, Summer Savings Challenge starts tomorrow. Super excited. Can't wait to see you guys there. I'll see you later. Have a good one.